So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why I don't think it makes sense anymore to invest into single family residences anymore, and why I'm selling everything off. By the way, if you like this type of content, definitely subscribe, like, and share. We talk about money, we talk about investing. That's what we do on this channel, is making money, as well as side hustles, any extra ways to make some extra income. So if you could do me that favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share to your family or friends. That is going to be greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So got some questions. I put out a video basically saying that I'm selling off my real estate. So some people asked, why are you doing that? So the main reason I'm doing that, I guess there's a couple main reasons why. It's not just one single event, but there's a couple reasons, and the final determining factor was that one reason, but there was already a lot of other reasons building up to it. So with how the economy is today, taxes have gone up tremendously, guys. They've more than tripled on the properties that I own, even maybe quadrupled. They've gone up tremendously. It's gone up a lot. So when I sit down and think about it, about 3 to 4 months of rent is just going to go just to pay taxes. So it wasn't like that when I first started this, but now it's getting to that point, right? And it's not like I'm charging $500 a month in rent. I'm charging, between $1,300 to $2,000 a month in rent. So these are not cheap, just crappy little houses. These are nice, well managed, well orchestrated, they're not dumps. Basically, they're good, high quality rental properties. They're properties that I would personally live in myself, right? So again, we've got the rents already pretty high, but we already have taxes going up even higher, and I just got the tax appraisal for this coming up year, and they jumped up even more. So it's just getting a little bit too out of control, and my thought process has changed on how I manage single family, or how I look at single family homes versus how I look at some other investments. Now, had I put the money in the stock market, we probably would be doing better. The stock market has been on a bull run for a very long time. So we would have had a better return probably overall when you factor in cost of maintenance, taxes, insurance, all that stuff. We probably would have had a better return just putting the money in the stock market. Another thing is, a lot of people are saying, rents are going to continue to go up. Why are you going to sell them? Well, yeah, that's true. Rents are going to continue to go up, but how high can they actually realistically go? And I'm asking that because people's incomes are not keeping up with the inflation, the rise of inflation. People's incomes are kind of gradually going up versus, inflation's going like this. Money printing's going like this, right? It's getting out of control, but our incomes are not getting out of control, for lack of a better word. Our incomes are not going like this. Our incomes are going like this. Very steady in an incline, versus inflation is going at a lot higher of an incline. So at some point, there's going to come a point, say a person's making $4,000 a month, and then they get a boost up to $4,800, $4,500, whatever. But inflation's already surpassed that, right? For what they're earning. So let's just say I have my properties at $4,000, and market value of that property is now, say, $5,000. These are just numbers. I'm just throwing numbers out there, right? Market value for that rental is $5,000, but that person or family is only bringing in $4,800. I can't raise my rents to $5,000 because these people can't afford it to begin with, and I can't be charging late fees, because they're not going to. If they can't pay the rent, how the hell are they going to pay the freaking late fees? So at some point, there comes a crossroads where it becomes unaffordable to continue to have single family homes. And I'll give you an example. So my property, the one we're currently listing, we're going to be listing more properties, is already at $1,350, $1,400 a month. That's for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, which is already on the higher end for my market. Now, again, it's going to be usually a single person, or it's going to be a young couple. Young couples don't make a lot of money. Single income, they're kind of capped at, there's only 24 hours in a day. They can only work so much, and there's only so much employment in and around our area. So when you think about it, how much more can I realistically increase the rent on a 2-bedroom, 1-bath in my market? If I raise the rent to $2,000, $3,000, whatever, at some point, that's a lot of people's income. Most of the people that get applying for these properties are making $4,000, maybe in the higher end, $5,000 a month. So at some point, if I raise these up to, say, $1,500, $1,600, $1,700, $1,800, $2,000 a month, that's already almost, and that's pre-tax what they're making. This isn't post-tax. That's pre-tax. And so they're probably bringing in about $3,800 after taxes, maybe $4,000 after taxes. At the higher end with a $5,000 income after taxes, $3,800, $4,000, somewhere in that ballpark. So if I raise my rents up and they continue to go up, say $2,000, now I'm getting $2,000 for that single property. Yeah, I've increased my rents, but at some point, they have a vehicle, they have insurance on the vehicle, they have groceries, maybe they just had a baby. I don't know, maybe they have credit cards, just random things. Their income is already more than 50% is going to rent. At some point they're going to fall behind, and I don't want to be dealing with people having to chase my money. I don't want to have to chase my money at all. Now, again, we have some on, where it kind of directly occurs and money gets pulled out. But at some point, there's going to be a cap at how high I can realistically raise the rents. So my next, thought process here is, why not move that money into something that I don't even have to manage? So for the most part, speaking from my experience, real estate is pretty passive. And it's been pretty passive for me because we do a lot of remodeling. We put a lot of brand new stuff into the properties. So people aren't calling me when things break, because there's less likely of a chance things are going to break if it's a brand new refrigerator, brand new electrical, or brand new plumbing, whatever, right? Less things will break if you just put it in, they're brand new and you do it right. So I can't say it's because I'm tired of dealing necessarily with tenants. I'm doing it mainly because financially it makes sense to move the money somewhere else. And again, with cryptocurrency today, cryptocurrency has given me a much larger return than I have ever received in real estate, and I probably ever will receive in real estate. So it just doesn't make sense when there's new emerging markets that I can move the money in real estate into, maybe into cryptocurrency, maybe into stocks, maybe into multifamily buildings. And the reason I say multifamily is because maybe I do want to enter back the real estate market, but maybe into some multifamily properties and not necessarily single family properties. Why? Because you can spread the cost of inflation, the cost of insurance, the cost of taxes across multiple people's families, multiple doors, whatever you want to call it. Say I have a 50-unit apartment complex. I can spread the increase in taxes on a $50 increase or $50 bump in rent, versus if I had to do that to a single family, now I have to raise the rent $150. Maybe that person can afford a $150 increase in rent because my taxes went up, which has happened to me. My taxes have gone up in that point where I had to increase a lot just to cover the tax increase. So again, I'm considering, moving that money into some apartment complexes or something to where I can split the cost into more families, more doors, more units, basically. It just makes more sense to do it that way. Now, the only problem with that is when I do decide to sell it. Right now I'm fairly young, but at some point I do plan on selling this stuff. It's going to be harder to sell. And whoever I sell it to is going to be an investor. That's going to be somebody who's looking for a deal. They're going to be someone that thinks like myself. I'm selling to another person like me. I'm selling to myself, in 20 years from now. So I'm probably not going to get top dollar for something like this. Even if I do add a lot of value, I probably won't get more than likely over what I'm asking. Might get a little under if I add extreme amounts of value to the property. But for me right now, it just makes more sense to move the money into something else. And also because of the thought of, I have to keep these things in mind when I have rental properties, and that's like, at some point I'm going to have to replace the HVAC system. At some point I'm going to have to replace the water heaters. Some point the roof. Some point I'm gonna have to paint the house. There's a lot of maintenance and upkeep when it comes to real estate. Now, I can't say I've had these things occur, but there are things that I keep in the back of my mind. Versus if I put all that money into stocks or dividend paying stocks, or, invest into other people's businesses, I can earn a percentage on that person's business or an ownership of that business, or again, interest on my money helping that individual. And I don't actually have to manage anything. It's a lot more free in my mind because I don't have to manage a roof. I don't have to manage a water heater. I don't have to manage plumbing, water. I don't have to manage tenants. I don't have to manage anything. It's just constant income that comes in every single month or every single day, whatever. So that's where I'm kind of thinking, that's where I'm kind of heading, is just being super freaking passive as possible. And that's what I'm trying to aim at, is just being as passive and as free and clear in my mind as possible. And that starts with eliminating the real estate. And again, it's a lot of money that's tied up in these properties that I'm not able to access or use. Now, there are some ways to go around it. Obviously, you can do a cash out refi. I've done that before in the past, but it just increases your debt. And at some point, if the economy was to collapse, that becomes a problem, because if you're over leveraged, it's a problem. So I'd rather just take my money out, pay the taxes I need to pay on it, and move it to something that's a little bit more of a 99.999% passive and requires less thought, less maintenance, and frees my mind on thinking about repairing a roof, repairing X, Y, and Z. I don't have to worry about that anymore, and I still have a consistent flow of income. Regardless of what I do, the money will still be coming in. Now, there are different ways to earn that as well. There's like USDT, where you can earn interest on your money with a stable token. There are, if you want to be managing anything, you can stake your cryptocurrency and earn 12, 13, 14. I've seen up to 50%. Obviously, it's a little bit more risky, but there are other ways to earn that money. And I wouldn't go balls to the wall and invest it all into that as well. But, it's a nice way to earn some high yields on that money if I wanted to put some away for that. Now, there are bonds, there's mutual funds, there's dividend paying stocks. There's a lot of other things that I'm considering, as well as just investing into other people and having those people that I invested in pay me a percentage every single month. There are people that I know that flip homes that could use my money, and then they pay me interest every single month, interest only payments. And again, I don't have to do any work. I just sit back, collect my checks every single month, and at the end, when they sell the properties, they did all the work. I just lent out my money. I still got paid, and it doesn't require any thought for me. It doesn't require any management for me. The checks show up, the money shows up, and I don't have to worry about managing a construction crew, managing a roof, managing anything. So the older I'm getting, the more I'm tuning into the whole, just free up and clear up your mental real estate. That's what I'm focusing on. And that's the reason I am moving towards exiting out of these single family homes, and maybe potentially, I'm not going to leave it out yet, I will go into the multifamily somewhere in the near future, or maybe in the future. We'll see. We're going to try out some other different avenues and see what works best. Yeah, it just feels better to have the cash freed up and deployable in the event the economy crashes. I'm in a good position to drastically change my life for the rest, as long as I'm here on Earth, right? So, again, there's a lot of uncertainty in the economy, and I think this is the best move for me. So that's the reason I am selling off the rental properties, mainly because, again, they're single family homes, and I can make some better returns in some different markets. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I am thrilled that you guys have brought this channel up to almost 2,000 subscribers already, so I'm pretty happy about that. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. See you guys later. Bye-bye.